There was something obviously that influenced your migration to Canada. Why why leave such a beautiful, stable island such as Barbados to go into this foreign place, this big city of Canada? What is it that inspired you to want to leave Barbados and transition to Canada?
When I moved to Canada, I met a Barbadian lady, and I she's from Barbados. And as soon as I went into the store, she asked, "Are you related to the Goddards from Barbados?" I was like, "Yes." How do you? I said, "Which ones?" And I said the two, and she told me the name. I said, "Yes, that's my grandfather's cousin."
Thank you for joining me for this another episode of CG Vlogs live from Barbados. Today we have a special guest, Nicola Campbell. Nicola Campbell is a Barbadian living in Canada, and I have the distinct pleasure of actually chatting with her today and getting a perspective about life in Canada. We're going to hear a bit about your story. I just want to invite our viewers to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Handyman Projects Barbados. My name is Ceegee. You can find me online via my socials, Instagram, Facebook, as CarseenGreenidge, aka CG. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank you all for following, thank you all for liking and subscribing, and actually engaging with the content that I'm sharing via my own social media channels and that of Handyman Projects Barbados. I'm also involved in a special project which is concerned about my ancestry. I'm telling the story about my Barbadian ancestry via the production name of Tracing Family Roots. It's an interesting story, and it's out of curiosity that I decided that I want to find out more about who my grandfather was, where he lived, why he moved from Barbados to Guyana. And that story encapsulates and captures my journey of discovery of my grandfather, who was born in Barbados but migrated in the 1920s to Guyana in search of a better life. And you can certainly like and follow that specific YouTube channel, Tracing Family Roots, to learn more. However, today I want to talk more about Nicola Campbell. Nicola, let me introduce you to my guest. You are Barbadian born. You
Yes,
spent most of your life in Barbados.
35 years.
35 years. Where are you currently in the world?
I am in. Okay, everybody's familiar with Canada, Toronto. All the Bajan people are familiar with Canada in Toronto. I am just about an hour on the train from Toronto going to Aurora. Aurora. Aurora, Ontario.
I see. So tell us, Nicola, I want to hear a bit more about you. Who is Nicola? Before we get to the transition from Barbados to Canada, I want to hear a bit about you. Tell us a bit about yourself. Who is Nicola?
Nicola, okay. So, Nicola, my background in Barbados falls under the Goddards. You know the Goddards building? The Goddards Flight Kitchen and the
Well,
Goddards
we
Group?
know. I think my audience will know the Goddard's Group of Companies. That's a prominent business entity in Barbados and the Caribbean. Is that the Goddard family you're referring to?
Yes. No, that's my background in the family in Barbados. Right?
Oh, your family owned the Goddard's Group of Companies?
My great great grandfather started a business long time ago.
What was his name?
Oh gosh. I have the name. I get it for you.
We're going into some ancestry now. This is interesting. But
I have to get the real name for you, but he's my
continue.
great great uncle. I can't remember the name on top of my head, but I'll research get it for you the correct name. I don't want to go wrong on life and then fool myself, embarrass myself. And then on my dad's side, I come a Campbell, and I from Grenada, and I from an area called Guave, so in Grenada. So I'm really a Campbell too, but from Guave. But Barbados is a lot of where my family are from, and my great grandfather used to live in Martins Bay, St. John. He used to walk to work every time to Bridgetown in those days.
So let me understand this. Your grandfather, well, so the Campbell side of your family is from your father,
Yes. And the goddard is from my mother.
mother, okay, and the Campbell side of your family, they have origins in Grenada,
Yes. Origins in Grenada. Yes.
whereas the Goddard side of your family, the origins are in Barbados.
Correct.
But you were born in Barbados.
Yes, I grew up in Barbados. I went to school in Barbados at a private school just opposite St. Gabriel's, St. Angela's, and St. Ursula's. I have I worked in Barbados in the hotel industry. I also worked in the tourism industry with you, CG. Remember,
Yes, yeah.
at Ocean Park, and yeah, I
Big ups
just
to Ocean Park.
I and I started. I like the career in the tourism hotel sector, and yeah, I just decided to um come up here to Canada in 2017, and I applied for PSW. And while doing that, I got a job with Walmart. Never did merchandising in my life. I love it. And yeah, now I'm going to a new adventure. I'm not quitting my other job, but I'm going to a new venture which I'm looking forward soon. You guys will stay
Before
tuned.
we get to that adventure, I want to hear a bit more about life growing up as a child in Barbados into adulthood. What was
Oh,
life like
so much
living in
fun.
Barbados? Tell
So
us
much
more.
so much fun. Like I had a lot of first cousins around my age, and it was just so much fun. A lot of sleepovers. I think now these days we're losing the family connections. Like people are not doing a lot of carpools all the time, and like keeping their families together. I think we need to grow the families even more. Like letting people know their first cousins, spending time with the generations, like getting your kids to know their own cousins, and because I find in this society when we're living in, some people are, it's not the same like 10 years ago, 11 years ago. It's
So
not
family is very important within your circle.
very important. Very important. Everybody should know one another. I find in this generation a little bit, it seems like it's kind of drifting. I think in generations some people are not going to know their own families.
So you grew up in Barbados. You attended school in Barbados. Where did you attend school?
St. Angela's and St. Ursula's convent, right in Collymore Rock.
Well, those are private schools in Barbados.
Yes.
Yes, and then you finished school and then you went into the world of work.
Well,
Your work was
before work. I went to Barbados Community Palmerine. I studied there for 1 year.
what's Pomerine?
The hotel industry, where you could do tourism and travel, or you could be a chef, or you could study hotel management.
Oh,
It's right.
that's the Hospitality Training Institute, which
Yes.
will upskill persons within the hospitality industry. That
Yeah.
is the wing of the Barbados Community College responsible for training persons within the industry with an interest in working in the hospitality industry, for example, tourism. That is the school you're referring to?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what type of training did you do there?
I did basic cookery.
Basic cookery. Okay. So you had an interest in cooking.
Yes. And I learned a little
Ah.
waitress during my course as well.
And then that got you into the actual industry and you started to work,
Well, right
I
away,
guess.
right after my course in the year, I applied right away, and I got through. After my first year, I applied because the school had told us we could get help, but like they would help us find job attachments. I actually applied on my own, and I got my first job at Seabreeze Hotel for 6 years.
Oh, okay, okay, 6 years. Ah, so you worked at the Seabreeze Hotel in Barbados for 6 years. What was that like,
It was lovely.
working in the
My,
industry,
working in the tourism
hotel?
hotel and working in the hotel industry was fun. You meet lovely guests and you tell them about Barbados and make sure they come to visit our beautiful island. You know, it was fun. It was nice. I enjoyed
I
it.
could imagine you were one of Barbados's ambassadors as an employee within the industry. Then you got
Yes,
older, and there was something obviously that influenced your migration to Canada. Why why leave such a beautiful, stable island such as Barbados to go into this foreign place, this big city of Canada? What is it that inspired you to want to leave Barbados and transition to Canada?
the
Tell us about
snow.
that
I
story.
wanted to experience the snow.
The snow, okay, okay. And so just because you wanted to experience the snow, you decided, hey, let me just go over to Canada to get
Yes,
some snow. How long ago was that since you made that decision?
2017.
So you've been living in Canada full time consistently since 2017 up until current.
Yes.
How has life been in Guyana? Sorry, in Canada? Well, in Canada, do you have any relatives there? I mean, what was the change? What was the experience like when you touched down in Canada? Are there any family that you can interact with? Tell us.
I have my sister in Canada, and also my grandmother was born and raised in Canada. Came from a family of 10 in a small town called Escott in near
That's your grandmother on your mother's side or your father's side?
my mother's side.
Okay.
And if she lives in a small town called Escott and near Mallory Town, and she grew up in Canada, so I wanted to come to Canada to experience snow, and I decided to do the transition to come here. And yeah, since I've been here in 2018, I got my first job at Walmart, and I love it. I'm still there, and I'm getting a full time job along with my Walmart job. So everything seems good, and everybody loves me at work. You
Did
know
you
that.
did you actually get to see snow?
Oh my gosh, CG, you have to come and experience snow. Come and make a snow angel of me. I'll show you how to make a snow angel. Of course, I first
Oh,
experienced snow in my April 2017 when I came here for holiday for 2 weeks, and I rolled up in the snow. I make snow angels, snowballs, and I said I loved it and I wanted to come back here. But you do miss home. You miss the food. You miss the food back home. You miss the people. Like it's a different mindset up here in
what
Canada.
about the food that you miss? What about the food home that you miss?
The smell of the food, the cooking, like the the things that you could get back home, like the macaroni, lamb chops.
And you can't get those in Canada where you are?
Yes, you can, but it's like when you're going into a supermarket and you smell the cooking and the food. Oh my gosh, it's the taste buds is just it's just like a craving when you like up here. Like you miss your food back home. Like you miss the chafette. You can't get chafette up here.
So do you do in Canada, given you are away from the whole culture of food, Barbadian food, are there any entities in Canada like street food that will specialize in Barbadian cookery? And
They have some people who do barbecue cookery like from their own homes and sell. Um, I haven't. I've seen a few like the closest one in cookery for me is like Jamaican food, but some they have some Barbados who do their own food up here and sell it, but I haven't seen seen it as yet.
okay. So there are spots in Canada. So there are not many spots in Canada that you can go and taste a cocoa and flying fish, or a good
No,
old Bajan macaroni pie, or Bajan pot soup, or fish cake.
only special occasions, right? But I've not seen any places for me to go to as yet. Like if they are there, maybe far from me, but I haven't seen anything. I want to actually go down to Toronto and sit down in some Barbadian place and eat that kind of food.
So Nicola, before you go any further, just for the guests that have joined us since we started this call, I am CG Vlogs, vlogging live from Barbados. I have as a special guest with me on our stream today, Nicola Campbell. She is a Barbadian, a purebred Barbadian living in Canada currently. And we're talking about what life is like as a Barbadian living in Canada. And she's sharing her experiences with me. So if you've just joined us, I am CG Vlogs, and this is Nicola, my special guest today, talking about her life as a Barbadian, growing up in Barbados and transitioning to Canada, and the joys and drawbacks of living in that big city. So Nicola, so what does a Barbadian do in the absence of not having that delicious Barbadian food nearby? How do you compensate? Because you as you said, you do get cravings for Barbadian delicacies. How do you compensate for that? It isn't as if you can rush down the road and hop in a chauffeur, or hop into a Bajan street food.
Save
People
your
eat.
You have to save your money and fly home and come home and get the food.
So are there any is cooking Bajan food at home an option for you?
Yes, but it takes time for me to cook all the delicious foods. I just want to go in the store and buy the food.
You just want to grab and go.
Correct.
So are there lots of, based on what you've experienced so far and observed, are there lots of Barbadians, Bajans living in Canada? And
They
in the area where you live, are there lots of them?
they do have some Bajan people I always butt into.
Whoa. So,
Yes.
what do you do for fun outside of work? What do
Oh
you do
gosh.
for fun?
For fun, I love, especially in summer. Summer is fun. You have to come and experience the summer sometime, CG.
This is summer in Canada.
Yes, you can go to Niagara Falls. You could, let's say if you come up here and you have your international license, you could rent a car scene, and sorry, CG. You could rent a car, CG, and you could. You have to get international license from Barbados, CG. You could rent a car and you could come and you could go like so many places in summer. You could go to you could go on the train, experience a train ride, or you could rent a car and you could go to Thousand Islands. But if you go to Thousand Islands in Kingston, you have to have a, a valid US visa in your passport to be able to go on the Thousand Islands boat cruise. They have a boat
Oh,
cruise for an hour or 2 hours. Usually the 2 hour is a luncheon on the boat. But um but you can come and like drive to Niagara Falls. You could go across the border to the states, to Buffalo or Michigan or other states.
I
So it's so
see.
important. Like let's if you want to do a road trip while you're here on holiday, It depends how long. You have to have your US visa in your Barbadian passport, or unless you can't go across to the border to the US. But there's so much things you could do here in summer. You can go to a you could take a trip and like to Tobermory, 3 to 4 hours from where I live. Is an and they say the water looks like Barbados, like
Okay.
clear.
Where is that
Yeah,
place called?
Tobermory.
Tobo Marie. Okay. But Nicola, Birdie whispered to me and just now and told me that you have a son.
Yes, I have a son. His name is Joshua.
How old is he?
He's 17 years old.
He's a big guy. What? And he's with you in Canada also?
Yes, he lives with me in Canada, and he's working part time at Superstore, at a supermarket called
What's his
Canadian
name?
Superstore. Joshua.
Hey Joshua, if you're watching this delayed broadcast, hello from Barbados. So he's your only child?
Yes.
Great. Well, we're getting ready to wrap up our chat right now. I want to just thank you for just taking the time out to come online and chatting with me and my guests, my audience, sorry. Telling us about your Barbadian experience growing up and transitioning to Canada. Would you come back to Barbados at any time?
Of course. Of course. I'm just waiting till my son finishes high school and school up here, and then I want to come back home. So probably the next 4 years, 3 years, 3 to 4 years, I would like to return home. I don't like the snow.
You
Snow's
don't.
not for me. No. No.
So, listen, Nicola, is there anybody that you would like to say hello to who may perhaps watch this later? Any family and friends in Barbados or in Canada that you want to say hello? Now is a good time to do that.
Yes, I would like to shout out to my boyfriend, Ken.
Oh,
Uh,
Ken. Okay, what's his surname?
his last name is Pyle.
Big ups to Ken Paul. Ken Paul, and he's living in Barbados still.
Yes, he is. He's been living in.
Hey, big ups to Ken Paul. Right, Ken Paul, that's your boyfriend. Okay.
And then I would like to big up my um I would like to big up my my cousin Jacob.
Jacob, okay. Hey Jacob.
Yes, you actually used to teach him at. Well, you kind of were acquainted with him at Queen's College.
Okay, Jacob Weatherhead.
Yes.
Yes, Jacob Weatherhead. Big up yourself, buddy. Well, that's it for now. Our time has come to an end, and I am so happy to have chatted with you. I learned a bit more about you, and my audience, I'm sure, learned something about you that they did not know before. And I thank you, Nicola, for sharing your experience as a Barbadian living in Canada. And I am sure we're going to chat some more on some other topics in the next few weeks. So I want my guests to actually familiarize themselves with your face, because you're going to be coming online with me again at another time. So Nicola, any other parting words you want to share before we go?
Well, thank you, CG, for inviting me to your show the first time, and I'm looking forward to being on other shows in the future and networking as well.
Thank you so much. I'm Ceegee, aka I'm CG, also known as CarseenGreenidge, content creator from Barbados. You're joining me on my live channel, either CarseenGreenidge on Instagram or Facebook, or on my YouTube channel, Handyman Project Barbados. Thank you all so much for joining me via this broadcast. I'm CG, and I'll see you on my next interview. Bye, Nicola. Take care.